Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. In case I forget to tell you guys, I will be gone starting on Thursday for about a week. And I'm sorry, but I'm also not, because my family needs some vacation time. So in case you're wondering, I know I'm still going to get the messages like, why are you gone? Where can I find you? Why isn't your video being uploaded? I will be back. Don't worry. And don't find anything else to watch during my time slot, by the way, because we will return before you know it. So today you've got this big fight in Texas brewing again over redistricting. It's back in the headlines because, in case you missed it, Democrats finally made their way back home from their safe havens of Illinois and New York. And, you know, these leftists, they come back with their tail tucked between their legs after just acting like children. They got upset that mom and dad gave a rule that they didn't like, and they were like, I'm going to pack my bag and I'm going to run away because I don't want to listen to your stupid rules. They're stupid. And they just ran away. They tucked tail and they ran away. And now, shockingly, you're going to be shocked to hear this, they're getting upset when they're getting treated like the children that they just proved that they are. Now, let me remind you, they spent weeks on the run. They were breaking quorum, trying to avoid a vote on redistricting that was going, or I should say, is going to add 5 Republican seats. Because remember, it is happening, guys. It's happening. You can whine about it. You can cry about it. You can throw an epic temper tantrum about it. It's still going to happen because we have the majority. So they're throwing a fit over avoiding a vote on this redistricting because it's adding Republican seats. And in case you really haven't been following closely, which you should be, and by the way, you should check out my episodes on this under the playlist on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Make sure to hit the like button and comment. It'll help us in the algorithm. So once you're subscribed, go to the playlist and go check out the playlist Come and Take It. And we really dive into this a little bit more closely and a little bit more detailed. But you've got 150 members of the Texas House. You have to have at least 100 to be able to have quorum. They all 100 of them have to be present in order to conduct any sort of official business. And so the Democrats said, we're just going to leave so that the legislature can't actually do their job. Now, remember, this is like what they were elected to do. They were elected to sit there and fight, not leave and fight, sit there and fight, battle it out. Okay. The idea is if they're different, okay, that's fine. You can have a dialogue. But if you lose, you'll lose. And you still have to sit there and you still have to take it. And unfortunately, the Democrats, it hurt their fifis. Okay, it hurt their feelings that they had to take it and they didn't want to. So they left the state and they were hit with arrest warrants for fleeing. And now that most of the Democrats have returned, Republicans want to make sure that they just don't run off crying again, having a temper tantrum, which who can blame them? Okay, so once they got back and they were hit with far less sanctions than I would prefer, by the way, I don't think that they should have gone so easy on these Democrats, but they did. And one of the very little things, the very few things that the Speaker of the House, Dustin Burrows, here in the state of Texas did was to implement a rule for these Democrats that they would only be allowed to leave the chamber under certain circumstances. So if you get permission, you want to be children, we'll treat you like children. So just like at school, you need a hall pass, okay? You need a permission slip that is signed. And then, and only then, you can be surveilled by a Department of Public Safety officer. Go do whatever you need to do. That's fine. They won't go in the bathroom stall with you, okay? But they're going to be watching you and make sure that you don't go off and pull the stunt that you just proved that you have no problem pulling. I liken it to grounding, which, you know, I have a son that just turned 13, so I'm very familiar with grounding children. These Democrats had to be grounded. They had to have a little bit of a grounding, all right? And so the officer would then force them to return back to the house when proceedings pick back up tomorrow, and they didn't like that. They're a bunch of whiny little bitches, and they didn't like that. And you had State Representative Mihaela Plisa from Dallas. She complained about, I have to be tailed. Officers tailed me on my Monday evening drive back to my apartment, and they even followed me and stood outside the bathroom. Hey, Representative, imagine what it feels like when the dudes actually go into the bathroom with you. You're concerned that they're waiting outside the bathroom? What your policies advocate is for those same dudes to be in the bathroom with you. Think about that for just a second there, baby. With the two brain cells that you got to rub together, okay? So she said, this is a waste of taxpayer dollars and really performative theater. That's really performative theater. Right. So fleeing the state and trying to fundraise off of throwing a fit and not doing your damn job is not performative theater at all. But somehow bringing you guys back here and making sure that you don't have the ability to violate your promises that you made to your constituents, that is performative theater. Make it make sense. Oh, wait, you can't. Okay? So there's another Democrat within this who is refusing to be followed by officers at all. This is, boy, you want to talk about performative theater? You tell me in the comments, is this performative theater or what? Nicole Collier from Fort Worth, since she doesn't want to have any officers, she won't sign the slip. She won't sign up for it. She's now not allowed to leave the House chamber until Wednesday. So in order to make sure that all of the attention is on her and she wants to portray herself as a victim, she's been live streaming her little slumber party there. Look at her with her little pillow and her face mask and her little bonnet. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that bad for her because she was getting like snacks Ubered to her, delivered to her. So I don't know. It seems like it's all just performative theater and a publicity stunt to me. All you had to do was just sign something saying that the officers are going to escort you and you don't have to stay. Because look, everyone else did it. And now you're pitching a big fit and making it sound like, what are you, the next Rosa Parks? Because you can't imagine that officers are going to tail you because you already proved that you're going to deceive and manipulate the rules in your favor, even though you're in the minority party. I mean, this is just really embarrassing. So you've also got these Democrats who come out in support of these people, claiming that these Democrats, let her go, as if she's being held hostage. Watch. Literally, the woman can let herself out as soon as she signs the slip. As soon as she signs saying, I understand the rules and I agreed to them, which, by the way, remember, she already agreed to back when she signed up for this job. They're saying, okay, you already agreed to these rules. Agree to it again because you've already proven that you're not going to abide by the rules. Go ahead, sign the slip and you can leave whenever you want, ma'am. It's almost like these Democrats just want to whine and play the victims here, okay? They just run away if they don't like something. A bill hurts their feelings, and they just run away. They just tuck tail and run away. And they go over to, by the way, let's not forget, gerrymandering heaven, Illinois, so J.B. Pritzker can go on a microphone with his fat ass and tell everyone that he just doesn't like that this is happening to the Democrats. And if Texas doesn't stop it, or else, we might gerrymander our state even more. Take that, suckers. It's like you can't even you've already gerrymandered it to hell. There's nothing more you can do to it. And so you've got these Democrats who have finally come back, but now they're complaining more when measures are put in place to stop them from running off again. Now, I'd like to ask, what would happen to you if you just decided not to show up for work? What would happen to you? Your boss calls you. He says, I hope your boss has a phone case like mine, by the way. If they don't, you're working for the wrong employer. He says, you're not here and it's work time. Where are you? And you just said, oh, I just didn't really like the lunch policy and I just decided not to show up. What would happen to you? You'd be fired. Of course. You would be fired. And these people are such little babies, such little spoiled brats that they didn't get fired and they're still bitching and moaning because they have any sort of repercussions for their actions at all. It's really, really disgusting. And I would just like to encourage Speaker of the House Dustin Burrows and all of the Republican leadership in the state of Texas. Now is the time. Do you see what they do when you are lax on them? They are laughing in your face right now. They are using all of this for a publicity stunt because nothing they do is serious. Nothing they do is serious because they want to make a mockery of your leadership. And so far, you're kind of letting them. So listen, they should not even have their seats anymore. These people should not even be allowed to go out there and have a slumber party on the House floor because she should not be allowed in there because she should not still be a representative. Thank God for people like Attorney General Ken Paxton here in the state of Texas because he's still fighting this, the legal battle for the Texas Supreme Court, who should rule on it in the next couple of weeks. Can we vacate their seats or what? Because these Democrats need to, they need to be on the other end of the FAFO. They need to be at the F and the O measure. They got to be at that. They were at the F and the A. And they need to be at the F and the O so they can figure out you're not going to do that on our watch and get away with it without repercussions. And I mean repercussions more than having to sign a permission slip and being tailed to the potty. Now, the vote is on redistricting. The vote on redistricting is expected tomorrow. So all of this is for nothing anyway, like most of the things that the Democrats do. All right, make sure that you share the show with a friend, share it on social media. And again, even if you are already subscribed, make sure you are still subscribed because listen, we love our benevolent, wink, wink, overlords over at YouTube. But I'm just saying a lot of people realize that they are unsubscribed when they did not mean to. All right, let's go ahead and I'm really excited about our panel today. Let's go ahead and take a quick break and thank our sponsor. And then we are going to bring them on. We've got more current events coming at you. I want to thank our sponsor, Patriot Mobile. So listen, Patriot Mobile is there for those of you who you understand the importance of a parallel economy, right? You've got big mobile, just like with a lot of big industries, you've got these big giant companies. And at the end of the day, you realize these companies actually hate you. Like they wish that you didn't exist and you feel like you're beholden to them and you've got to give them money every single month, even though you know that they actually freaking hate you. That is why Patriot Mobile exists, because there's no reason for you to keep giving your money to big mobile. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. And you can get service on all three major networks. Okay. So you're not going to sacrifice quality. You're not going to sacrifice service. They've got all three major US networks and you can keep your phone. You can keep your number or you can put it up all brand new. Okay. It doesn't matter how you do it. I'm just telling you, go check them out. Odds are they're going to save you money as well. And you know that you are supporting a company that supports you. They are on the front lines fighting sex trafficking at the border with Jaco Booyens. They are helping us flip integral school boards in our favor. They are helping with so many conservative values. I see them at every single activist event that I am at. They are truly putting their money where their mouths are. They support you. So support them. Go over to patriotmobile.com. Use promo code Sarah. Get a free month of service. It's patriotmobile.com/Sarah. Use promo code Sarah. Welcome to the show. It's Pat and Stu Day. We have Pat Gray, host of Pat Gray Unleashed, which you can find right here on Blaze TV, as well as wherever you get your podcasts, along with Stu Burgier, host of Stu Does America, which you also can find on Blaze TV and wherever you get your podcasts. And it's not, I know it's kind of misleading. It's like Stu Does America. You're like, what is Stu doing? It's not like Debbie Does Dallas.
No, it's well, there's some similarities. I put as much thought into the script every night as they did to that script.
Okay,
but other than that, it's pretty dissimilar.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, yeah. So take that for what you will. Okay, make sure that you are subscribed to both of these gentlemen, and I'm really glad that you guys are here to talk with me about this next one because when you're like scrolling through social media, you're scrolling through the news, you're just kind of trying to catch up with the headlines, and you come across a headline, and you're like, no way this is actually a headline. But it is, if you can pull that up, Stephen, from the Daily Caller. Socialist Minneapolis mayoral candidate has rally with almost no English. Whoa. Okay. This is America. This is America. And, you'd probably think, like, why would anyone hold a rally in America and speak a language that most of us don't really speak? But that's actually what happened. Watch.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, Edo. Yes, Edo. We need to be united this year. It's not going to be easy. wuxuu haystaa $2 million from PACs and donations laakiin annaka waxaan haysanaa shacabka dadka waan haysanaa
looyaraa dhasheen senataraa dhasheen congresswomanaa dhasheen.
Beautiful language.
Yes.
Language of love.
Oh, I was.
Inshallah.
Aw, don't cut the music off.
Oh, I'm so
I was
good.
feeling it. There it is. Hey. So this is, of course, Omar Fateh, Somali
Are you calling
American.
a fatty? Is that what you're trying to say?
But in a fancy way. So
Okay,
it's,
he's a
it's
Fateh.
nice. He's Fateh. He's a Somali American, born in D.C., but still not speaking the official language. We can say that now. The official language of America. And, I would just say, if you look at the polls, the incumbent Democrat mayor is polling in the lead, but this guy is pulling in some pretty big fundraising numbers. He's in second place, at least. And his number one priority is protecting illegals from President Trump. Back in 2022, he also supported defunding the police. And I just think it's really interesting because at a place like Minneapolis, you would think maybe like Los Angeles or New York or one of these hubs for entertainment. But I didn't realize that even in Minneapolis, we would have a celebrity running for a mayor.
Look at me. Sure. I'm the captain now.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Holy pirate. That's very cool.
Minnesota. I mean, but in all seriousness, this is scary. I try to tell people about this. It's not just Minnesota. It's not just Michigan. Mm-hmm. We've got all of these pop-up, cities, areas in the state of Texas. Mm-hmm. It's everywhere. And I'm not hating on a certain religion. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, how in the world can you expect to all have some sort of a cohesive moral policy or cohesive American values when they don't even want to speak English. There was no American flags that you saw there waving. It's just all, I guess, we want to run on the values which are important to our homeland. And it's like, if you call that your homeland, you should probably just go back.
Yeah. It's interesting because didn't you leave your homeland for some reason?
Right. At least this guy's parents did, I guess, but he still hasn't. I mean, why are you speaking in Somali?
And it's not just
a language.
It's just not.
Whatever it is, I don't like it.
It's not just there either.
It's not a language; it's a sandwich.
There was a Ohio representative in the state legislature from Somalia who just had a similar type of celebration because he just won his primary too. I mean, this is happening all over the country. You got the New York thing with the Islamianist Mamdani. You got Minneapolis.
Communist. That's
you got
so good.
Ohio. You've got South Portland, Maine, with another similar situation. I mean, it's happening all over the country. It's a little alarming because they're not assimilating anymore.
Yeah.
They come here for some reason. I don't know why, but they bring their language and their culture and they keep it. They hang on to it and become separate from us. And, that didn't go well in the Balkans. I'm not sure how well it's going to go here.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
I want to get a couple things out here. Number one, you called him Fateh.
What is it?
And he's really like skin and bones.
He is very skinny. I know.
I
apologize for
think
that.
Fateh is an appropriate name for him.
I might give him like an eating disorder, and I don't want to do that because he's already very skinny.
Very skinny. You don't need to cut any more Somali sandwiches out. You're fine the way you are. Number one. Number two. Did you notice like the only English word he knew was donations?
Yeah. Yes.
I love that.
So it's like, Donations.
You want to make sure everyone knew that particular word. Yeah, I don't think this is the right way for our country to work. I mean, they talk about the melting pot back in the day, and I don't know, what does that mean exactly? Like, right? Like, I think it's something important.
It is.
And like, you think of our country, there's a lot of people saying all sorts of things about culture, and it's a weird word, and people use it in a bunch of different ways. But like, there is a foundational aspect of this country that's important, right? Like, there's certain those laws and traditions that are important. That doesn't mean you can't do other things. We're fine with that. I mean, and we embrace the best of other cultures. I mean, there's a reason why there's 9 million great Mexican restaurants in this city.
I knew you were going to say
They're freaking fantastic. Because we borrowed what is great about Mexico. Queso, pico de gallo. There's many things. I don't know what the other things are, but there's many things that are great. We take, you take the culture, you take music, all those things can form into a great culture. There's nothing wrong with that. When you go to a place, and Somalia seems to be like the most central example of this, at least right now in America, where we take a country that seemingly everyone wants to leave, but then also wants to constantly honor. And like, I have no problem. There's, I have an Italian background. I have a Swedish background. I have a bunch of different stuff. No problem saying that. There's parts of that culture I really like. There's things I really like about the culture.
The least shocking thing to me that you have a Swedish background.
Really? Is it really? Yes. Well, I do look like the Swedish chef a little bit. But, it is one of those things that's one of the, again, the diversity is our strength. We all know is blown out of proportion and nonsense, right? But like, the fact that we are able to take the best from around the world, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that's good. It's just that you have a situation where there's this like separation that a lot of these like societies want to have, like, where it's like, well, we don't want to be like you. In fact, we hate what you stand for. We stand against everything that you believe. Vote for me. And I don't see how a civilization runs in a coherent fashion that way. You can have differences, but you have to at least not despise the country you're in. When I go and visit other countries, I don't go there because I despise them. Right. I go to the countries I want to go to because there's things I want to experience there. That seems to be the opposite for some of these people.
By the way, there are, on that note, I realize like Mexico, it's right next to, America, and there are a lot of English-speaking tourist areas in Mexico. But you go further than that, and they're not bending over backwards to talk English to you. Like, they are speaking whatever their official language is. They are speaking just that. And ask me how I know, because we got married in the Dominican, and I was able to know enough to like get around, but they were not speaking English. Maybe one of them knew broken English, but nobody was like, yeah, I'm going to learn English so that I can cater to you. And somehow we're just like, no, it's fine. We'll just print all of these documents. We'll use government taxpayer dollars to print all of these documents in all these different languages. Don't worry. You don't have to learn English. You can come here and tell everyone about 9/11. Some people did some things.
That is true.
You can say that, What did Ilhan Omar say about something about Somali? I'm looking out for the interests of Somalians.
Yeah. She said it was her priority.
That's what she said. That is her priority, to look out for the interests of Somalia as a congresswoman in the United States of America. And too many people are scared to be like, that's a national security issue.
Yeah.
That's a giant national security issue.
Well, they just, HUD, the Housing and Urban Development, just decided to stop printing documents in 200 separate languages. There's only 195 nations in the UN. We were printing more languages than there are countries. So it's just ridiculous that we bend over like that. And, other countries are famous for refusing to speak English even when they do. Like in France, everybody speaks English as well as French. But when American tourists come in and expect them to speak English, they get pissed. Right. We're the only ones on earth who are expected to just deal with it, handle it, change. You change to them. You conform to the people who come here. It's bizarre. I mean, my grandmother came here from Ireland and she spoke Gaelic. And when she got here, she wouldn't let her kids speak Gaelic. It was demanded, it was expected that you speak English in their home because they wanted to become Americans. That has changed so drastically now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you ever have cohesion under these circumstances. how you ever achieve unity under these circumstances. Diversity it's the only altar we worship at.
Yeah. And I mean, as Stu pointed out earlier, it's clearly not a strength. I mean, when you look at, take a step back and look at just communities, right? Like just local communities. Don't even talk about the entire country, just local communities, like your neighborhood. Do you think that if you had a bunch of different, people coming from totally different religious backgrounds, they don't speak English, nobody speaks the same language, they have different values, they have different morals. Some of them think it's totally fine to engage in drive-bys in the middle of the night, but you don't, right? Like, I mean, there are all sorts of places that you could take this where you could go, you can't even have diversity in a neighborhood and expect to have like a nice, good neighborhood where people want to live. How could you possibly expect that you could extrapolate that and bring that idea into an entire country? And yet that's what they did.
Yeah, I mean, and the way you just define diversity is really important, right? Like I'm sure all of us have in our communities people that look differently than us, that have different backgrounds, that have different ethnic backgrounds, different religions, and everything else. You know, I live next to a woman who's from India, a family from India, and they have totally different.
We all do.
religions.
Everybody does.
Yeah, it's true.
In Texas,
we do too.
All do.
Super common.
And I'd like to point out, huge Trump fans.
Yeah. There you go. Yes.
Immigrants from India. Yeah.
Our neighbors are awesome. Like, I love them. They're really, really cool. They have like one really crazy party a year. I don't know what it's for. They warn us 85 times leading up to it.
I want to know why you're not
really
invited.
Loud, really late. We are invited.
Oh, okay.
And we have not experienced it yet, although I would love to at some point. I don't know what it's for. It's something that we don't celebrate, but it's,
sounds fun.
No problem at all. They're just awesome people. That's a totally different example and definition of diversity that the left or the media would give you, which is, do people have different color skin?
Right.
Which is like the most boring and dull thing about people. Who cares? Like, it's just so nonsensical. I feel like everyone, half the internet content I see this year on both sides is like about skin color these days. Like, I don't have no use for it at all. To me, it's a very boring thing about people. I like the fact that we can, talk, like having even people who believe different things, who do different things, you can still have a cohesive neighborhood and country. It's just that you have to have people who respect the others, right? Like, it's not just like you can see it. We saw it really in bright colors after George Floyd. Where there's like a giant chunk of this country who literally despises everything this nation stands for. That is really hard to bridge that gap. I'm sorry, it really is. If you come from Somalia and you come here and you despise everything about this country, if you come from Uganda in what was it, Islamist, Mamdani's case, and you come here and what you've decided is, I want to overthrow this system because it's terrible in every way, get out. Yep. That's what I would say. Now, I would not vote for the guy. New York is probably going to vote for him, which is a terrible thing. And I think what we will see out of that experiment is pain for that city. I hate to say it. I have friends who live there. We all have people we know who live in New York City. They're going to have to deal, if they go down this road, with the ramifications of their own choices. And they're not going to like it very much.
I mean, the problem, though, is at what point do we start saying, well, it affects all of us? Right. Like I don't disagree with you. It's like, hey, New York's going to vote for who they're going to vote for and elections have consequences. I totally agree with that. However, if I could just bring it back to the neighborhood version, we had an HOA election not that long ago, and we did not vote for the tyrants. But the tyrants got into office. And since then, we are heavily affected by it because they're tyrants and they want to walk around the neighborhood with a clipboard trying to, oh my God, you put your trash can out an hour early. We're going to send you a violation. And it's like, well, I didn't vote for that. So at a certain point, then it's like, well, okay, but the rest of the sane people still have to deal with it. And then how many more does it embolden to go, I'm going to run for mayor. I'm going to run for mayor. I'm going to run for city council. And you already have Michigan and Minnesota, as I mentioned earlier. I believe, what was it? Hamtramck. Where was it, Stephen? Michigan. We just talked about it yesterday. Is Hamtramck, Michigan. We talked about a city council member who is being investigated for election fraud. You guys are going to be shocked to hear there is such thing as voter fraud.
What?
Oh, wow.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes.
It's a hoax.
And in that city council, every single one of the people, the members, are Muslim from either Yemeni or I think it was Somalian descent, but it's the 2 different places. They're all Muslims from those places. And it's like, this is getting scary, guys. I mean, even if you want to say it's just in New York and it's like isolated there, I just feel like, okay.
It's not, though. And we know that. And we've seen the communities popping up here in Texas.
In Texas.
They really make it so it's almost impossible for anybody but Muslims to live in that area. And they discriminate against those who come in by telling them that 80% of the money that they pay to the HOA is going to build the mosque. And that helps discourage. And I mean, they did a podcast where they laughed and joked and bragged about it.
Yep.
And so fortunately, that's what brought it to the attention of all the authorities. And they're like, okay, is this a Sharia situation? Because that doesn't work for us.
Right.
Right, and that's what I think is really good about the design of this country, right? Like there are supposed to be pretty wide guardrails. You've got Little Italy, you've got Little Havana, you've got areas Chinatown. There's all sorts of areas where people congregate, but based on their own choice, and they do. It's different, right? Like you go to Little Italy, or you go to Chinatown, you notice a difference. Like the culture is different. You can experience different things there. All of that exists inside guardrails like the Constitution.
Exactly.
And what we're doing lately is just disregarding those guardrails and saying, hey, let's see what happens.
Right.
That's not a good idea because we won't survive this if we don't continue to have those guardrails, if we don't continue to have the founding ideals just to bounce us back and forth. When the president of the United States is like, well, you know what, we should just forgive all the student loans. If we don't have some way of pushing back against that and moving it back toward sensibility, we're going to be in real trouble. We saw there was a reaction to that type of thing, I think, whether it was through COVID and, stuff like the student loans, all the spending, the inflation, and the election helped bring us back to normalcy a little bit. We're a little too close to the fringes lately, though. I feel like a lot of times there's things where I say, gosh, thank God the Supreme Court has the makeup that it has right now, or we would really be in trouble. Yeah. So we're a little too close to that right now. We should, try to brighten those lines and make those walls bigger so we stay in between them. Because if you don't have those, we've seen these attempts to build societies like that without those guidelines. They always fail.
Yeah. Stephen, can you throw up that side-by-side? That's the same guy.
It might be the same guy.
You're not going to tell me any different.
I mean, he's cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah. And he's gained a little bit of weight, honestly.
He
was very emaciated when he filmed that movie. And since then, you know what? America's been nice to him, clearly. I'm still going to call him fatty, though. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We will be back with more. I want to thank our sponsor, the segment Select Quote. So those of you who, maybe you hate to think about anything bad happening to you or your loved ones, but the fact of the matter is, if you don't actually make sure that you have good life insurance, you're going to leave your loved ones in a bind. And that's the last thing you should want to do. And one sure way to protect your future is life insurance. You're probably, by the way, paying for underinsured, maybe you're overpaying, maybe you're underprotected. And if your policy is through your job, I'm here to tell you, if you lose that job or if something happens, you move jobs, you don't get to take that policy with you if it's a group life policy. That is why finding a new life insurance policy with Select Quote is something you should do. You can save more than 50% on term life insurance at selectquote.com/Sarah today to get started. That is selectquote.com/Sarah. Well, yesterday on the show, we talked about, I'm sure you guys saw this, the illegal who did the illegal U-turn in Florida, killed 3 people, got a commercial driver's license from Gavin Newsom after he entered illegally in California. And Gavin Newsom, in typical leftist fashion, I would say, is trying to use right-wing tactics, I would say, to dunk on the Trump administration, because we all know Gavin Newsom really wants to be president. He wanted to run for president the last time around. Yep. The debate with him and DeSantis, where he's like, yeah, sure, I'll just do this junior debate. And even though Joe Biden is running for president, and trust me when I tell you, I fully believe in Joe Biden, I'm just going to do the debate anyway. And then he proceeded to lie the entire time and misrepresent literally everything that DeSantis threw his way. So he clearly wants the Democrat nomination. I don't see any way he doesn't run in 2028. So it feels like he is trying to insert himself into this national conversation in literally everything to try to one up the conservatives. He did it with Texas. I just talked about at the beginning of the show with this whole gerrymandering, redistricting. Gavin Newsom's over there like, well, Texas, if you actually follow through with what your state's going to do, I'm going to do something too. And it's like, bro, nobody was talking to you. Go away. So he's really bad at it. And so I want to talk about maybe why Newsom is failing while we are succeeding at all of this. So he did what all, I don't know, conservative people do and launch a podcast. Apparently, that's what we all do. Just launch a podcast. And when he launched that, his first guest was Charlie Kirk. And I just want to remind everyone of what that looked like. Watch.
Literally last night, trying to put my son to bed. He's like, no, Dad, what time? What time's Charlie going to be here? What time? And I'm like, dude, you're in school tomorrow. He's 13. He's like, no. This morning, wakes up at 6 something. He's like, I'm coming. I'm like, he literally would not leave the house.
Did you let him take off school?
No, he did. Of course not. He's not here for a good reason. But the point is
you canceled school for like 2 years. One day.
The point is the point, which is you are making a damn dent.
Thank you. I'm kidding.
But I appreciate that. I mean, it's the reason you're here because I think people need to understand your success, your influence, what you've been up to, and the fact that you're on these college campus tours.
Oh, gosh, that was so genuine. That was so authentic coming from Gavin Newsom. I really appreciate what you do, Charlie Kirk. And so what you're about to notice is a pattern. He's like copying the look and feel of a podcast, but it's all very superficial and not believable at all. And so I want you to keep that in mind when you look at Gavin Newsom and how he handles things, because this other one is memes. So as you guys know, the left can't meme. The right can meme very well. The left can't meme. And so they keep trying to, though. It's like they're like the little engine that could. And they're like, I'm going to get him this time. And then they just don't. And I want to, there is Gavin Newsom's press office. And who is that? It's Tucker and Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan, the Angel.
Does anyone get that?
No.
What are they even going for?
They're ministering to
what is it,
Gavin
guys?
Newsom?
I can't read the screen. What does it say? So nice?
So nice.
So nice.
What does it mean?
You don't get that?
It's bad,
No.
whatever it is.
Steven, do you get it?
Of course not. It makes no sense at all.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah, that's bad.
I got more out of the Somali press conference than I got out of that.
Your donations.
Yeah, at least I got donations.
You knew what that was. And so they still don't understand. I mean, none of this is authentic. So they don't get it. Like, you can't just say, hey, AI, make this silly picture and make it all make sense. Like, it is a picture that is supposed to mean something.
Right. It's not
have
just
an overarching, right, like some overarching meaning rather than just like, let's just throw a bunch of people into a picture and post it. Hey, we won the meme battle. And so it's just none of this is good or genuine. And so I want to go back to this illegal U-turn story. Assistant Secretary of DHS, Tricia McLaughlin, went on X to call out Governor Gavin Newsom for, I would say, there's blood on his hands. 3 innocent people were killed in Florida because Gavin Newsom's California DMV issued an illegal alien a commercial driver's license. This state of governance is asinine. How many more innocent people have to die before Gavin Newsom stops playing games with the safety of the American public? And then, of course, she goes on to say, we pray for the victims and their families. Secretary Noem and DHS are working around the clock to protect the public. And so Gavin Newsom, in order to dunk on McLaughlin and Trump, posted on his press office account, hey, genius, the federal government, Trump administration, already confirmed that this guy meets the state and federal immigration requirements. You issued him a work permit. As usual, the Trump administration is either lying or clueless. P.S. Grok, who was president in 2018, except, oh gosh, it's just that he was very wrong. And so they responded, false. Harjinder Singh is in the United States illegally, and his work authorization was rejected under the Trump administration on September 14th, 2020. It was later approved under the Biden administration, June 9th, 2021. The state of California issues commercial driver's licenses. There is no national CDL. Sincerely, genius.
So great.
So good.
Really good.
I mean, how did these people, he should have multiple people that he checks these through.
Yeah.
And they all thought that was smart.
He just maybe lied about it. I mean, he looked at 2018, decided Trump was president, and just went for it.
I think just that stupid.
Yeah, he's that stupid.
More of it than that.
Instead of looking into it, and it doesn't take a lot anymore to find out if something's true. And he didn't even do that. He didn't even put it in AI or do any research. He's got people for that kind of stuff. You'd think he'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
But they don't. And so I don't think they're used to getting this amount of blowback, though.
Probably not.
This administration is going to blow back. They're going to come back at you with the truth.
That's been one of the best things that
so great
on social media.
Yep.
Their response on social media to all of these leftists who are lying and being completely disingenuous about things has been so brilliant because they've empowered these social media people on all of these agencies' websites to just be like, no, actually, that's not true at all. And here are the receipts. And they're constantly posting receipts and making these Democrats look like the garbage that they are.
Yeah, and like this is like Gavin Newsom like 9.0, where like every month or 6 weeks he releases a new update. You know, like it's like, Chat GPT 5.0, and it's like there's just a new version of him that's completely different. I mean, those two things that you just showed, right?
Podcast Newsom to now.
To now. That's only a few months.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these are two completely different people.
Yep.
Right? Like two totally different people. And that's after like several other versions of him. I mean, you remember him from COVID time, Mr. I'm serious. I'm Mr. Serious Guy. He's had an anti-Trump period before this. Then he tried to do that. Like, I'm going to be in the middle, the Charlie Kirk phase. I'm all of a sudden going to be against men playing in women's sports. He had that phase. These are all phases that have happened in like the last 6 months.
Incredible.
It is, legitimately shocking how bad he is at this. And he's a terrible politician. Remember, this is a guy who's in California. He was gifted, all of this elevation throughout California politics, where normally he didn't really have to run against anybody. He still almost got thrown out of office. People forget that. I mean, 2 weeks before that election, it was basically a tie as to whether he was going to get thrown out of office, recalled. Wow. He's barely survived that in a bright blue state. He has never been able to get anybody to like him. It's like there's something there where like people see Donald Trump and they see what he does, and they try to sort of saccharine their way into doing it artificially. And like, it doesn't work for other people. I mean, it's people on the right have tried it. It doesn't work for them. It certainly doesn't work for people like Gavin Newsom, who keeps flailing around trying to find this identity. I mean, we've made so fun of people changing their gender here and there. That's kind of what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. It reminds me a little bit of, and I think Marco Rubio is doing a great job right now in his current role in the Trump administration. But if you remember back when he was running for president back in 2016, he was the buttoned-up guy, Tea Party candidate, kind of like, a little bit of the establishment mixed in, but like the respectable candidate. And he went through and he kept trying, and he kept finishing in third and fourth place. And then for like a week, he just became, the insult dog comic, right? Like, and he was just all of a sudden just yelling at Donald Trump and insulting him every other day. And it was so weird and out of character. It feels like Gavin Newsom goes through that on a weekly basis. I mean, he's having a real identity crisis. And we're doing a monologue on this on tomorrow's show, by the way, which I'm totally going to steal your bizarre graphic of,
please.
Of Hulk Hogan and Gavin Newsom. But like, there's this thing he's trying to do, and every poll shows it doesn't work. Every poll shows that people just don't like this guy. He's like what liberals think Donald Trump is, but that's not who he is. Donald Trump is authentic. It's who that's the guy he is. And, Gavin Newsom is nothing but one of the worst human beings society has ever produced. He's that guy. I mean, and that sounds like a big accusation. The man slept with his best friend's wife. Is there anything worse than that you can think of other than murder? It's pretty much the biggest crossing of a line that you can do. And that was his legacy. He's a bad guy and a bad candidate.
Well, I would just say the Polymarket presidential odds for 2028 do have him behind J.D. Vance. Vance is coming in at 28%. Gavin Newsom's at 16%. AOC is the next one in line, 9%. And then, of course, Donald Trump again. Not Junior, just Donald Trump himself at 3%.
How embarrassing is it that Kamala Harris is behind a person who's constitutionally prohibited of being the next president?
So good.
So good.
And so then it keeps going on and on.
Well, he's running, right? He's already running. And what happens in those polls, and I love Polly Market, I'm on there all the time. That a lot of it at this point is just.
By the way, Gavin Newsom is running, Stu's saying.
Yes,
not Donald Trump.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Gavin Newsom is already running for president, and everyone assumes Vance will run. That's why they're at the top of that. He's announcing it. When Cory Booker made his big speech, he rose up there too. It's a lot of that visibility stuff that's going to happen in a market like that.
Yeah. All right. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Boy, it's a far cry from Dick Levine, who we had partially in charge of HHS last go around. Now we have HHS Secretary RFK Jr. and Defense Secretary.
Richard? I don't remember.
His name was Dick Levine.
Okay. Oh, Dick. Yeah. Really? Because I don't remember it being Richard or Rick or anything like that you'd normally shorten to.
I remember it as Dick Levine.
Okay.
Or maybe that's just what he had. Anywho, I don't know. I don't get confused with the details. But you have the two of these people, RFK Jr. and Pete Hegseth, who, after the president has brought back the presidential fitness test, I think they want to give a challenge to the rest of the country. And so they had this little challenge, 100 push-ups, 50 pull-ups in 10 minutes. And they did this video. Apparently, Pete Hegseth won, but only by I'm talking about a matter of seconds. Look at RFK Jr. He's 71 years old, just going at it. I mean, it is actually really impressive. And I think that the only way that we can really properly go through this segment is to just have Stu just do the, ready? Go.
Do the challenge?
100 push-ups, 50 pull-ups, 10 minutes, go.
There's no bar.
Oh,
dang
shoot.
it.
Darn it. Wait, did they? And I was trying to figure that out. They did them both in that time?
Yeah.
Like the 100 push-ups and the 100 pull-ups happened within a 5-minute period?
5 minutes and 25 seconds for Pete Hegseth. RFK was like 5 minutes and 40 seconds or something. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Really legitimately impressive. I mean, that's hard to do for someone who's actually in shape, unlike me.
Yeah.
And
30. Let alone 71.
71. I mean, legitimately impressive. And in jeans.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. All I think about is my legs just sweating inside of jeans, and it makes me want to go home and go to bed.
Well, Pete Hegseth said that more than 2/3 of the reserve troops are overweight. So that's their whole point, is like, this is completely unacceptable. Our standards have been ignored, and we're going to be fit, not fat. And I applaud that, because I feel like when we are facing the enemy, we need guys who can do those types of maneuvers.
For sure. Now, I don't know if we need our 71-year-old HHS secretary to be able to do that. I'm impressed that he can, though. It's really, really impressive that he can do that.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's not like, the president's physical fitness test was like, I don't know, climb a rope and,
right.
I don't know, maybe, I don't remember what it was exactly, but it wasn't that hard.
No, it's not that hard. They're like, touch your toes. You're like, all right, I can do that.
I know. It feels almost a little insult. They're like, we're challenging everyone to do this. And you're like, oh, okay. Is it walk 3 times a week? Wait, 100 pull-ups and push-ups in 5 minutes? Screw you.
Well, to be fair, the challenge is 10. They just are overachievers and did it in 5.
Oh, okay. So was it 5 for each?
They both did it in like 5. They both did it under 6 minutes.
I mean, that's really impressive. But is the challenge 10 minutes?
The challenge is 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. I could do that easy.
I
thought it was 5 minutes. That's ridiculous.
Coming up on another episode of Sara Gonzales Unfiltered, Stu performs a challenge.